So we've got some hearts for the different players on the board. I have a heart for Evans coming from Jennifer Lee. Randy is watching. Hello, Randy. Nice to see you. Yes, Evans did have the Team USA shades when I was at the board just a few moments ago. And we have a heart for Austin coming from Lila. So Swinged is coming down very quickly to start the game. Nice early lead for Austin.
I think that's pronounced swinged.
Swinged, is it? Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Did you know that swinging is a
Oh
word?
wait, yeah, that is Lindsay. I'm sorry. I just saw an L in karate, and I forgot Lila has the other handle. Sorry, guys. That is a heart from Lindsay. See, Lindsay, in my defense, I am used to you having...
Is he challenging it? Whoa! He doesn't know that it's pronounced swinged. He also doesn't know that swinging is a word. If only he knew.
In my defense, Lindsay, her default handle when she's on different social media, at least in the past, was Linza108, Linza with a Y. So I've associated, Lindsay with that username. But still, I should have remembered Lila's already on there with Lily Wokalaniku.
Now that we've gotten your excuses for getting a name wrong out of the way, what's your excuse for Evans challenging swinged?
Nerves, maybe? I don't know. It's possible. Yes, it is 5-point challenge, Jennifer, so that's just +5 for Austin.
Oh, I get to add that to the play. I love using the +5 button in Quackle. It's so satisfying. Did you know that you can press the +5 button in Quackle as many times as you want?
I didn't know that. That would be quite something.
Yeah. Oh man, Evans has little in the way of good options.
I just suddenly had a Soulja Boy pop in my head, looking at Evan's rack. Crank that Soulja Boy me, you! He's got rid of the U.
Do you think you should play U under NY in GU?
I think it's reasonable. Excuse me. Yeah, the two that are fairly close are Hugie, which is about 1 point below U in static simulation.
Ooh, that's a nice play. You could play UH underneath the S of swinged, setting up as D for duh.
Mm-hmm.
That's very clever. But then DIY is quite poor for bingo making.
U is fine.
I don't know. YU is tricky though, because well, I guess he has the S to work with.
Okay, we put the names up for the two screens.
Excellent.
We put them here.
Whoa, cool.
Kumar's got the names next to the racks on the screen, so that should
Whoa.
always be current.
That's amazing.
You're left in the power right now.
What is Austin's filled out? Papour?
Let's see. Yeah, Papour.
Is he trying to? Is that a plan? Is that gonna go? What do you think Evan just thinking about? Or do you think he's like trying to find a bingo still?
I think he may be trying to make sure he's not missing anything bigger. It looks like he is going for, yeah.
Ooh, whoa.
He's really not liking that Y. Or the H.
Whoa, I like that. I mean, that's a bold play. Oh my god, that sim's so bad. Holy cow. I think that's a pretty cool play. I'm running the sim on YU and YEH. And Quackle thinks that YU would win 29% of the time and YEH would win 24% of the time. And it's pretty hard to ever find a 5-point difference in win percentage on your first play. So Quackle really thinks that's a bad play, but I like his thoughts. It's very aggressive. It ensures that the board's going to have plenty of bingo lines for a while. But the problem is DIU is so bad. IU is real bad. DU is real bad. DI is not great. All those letters are bad together. And also DIU is like especially bad to combine with a Y. So it means that one of the most volatile lists on the board you can't really use, even if Austin doesn't.
Yeah, that's probably part of why it doesn't sim well, is because he's not going to be able to use that spot really for a whole lot if for some reason Austin didn't. So.
Another problem is that leaving DIU is bad when the best place on the board to play is through an I.
So Papery goes down for a big score.
It's huge. Wow. Interesting that YU and UH simmed about the same.
So we're back to Evans, and Evans has WUD, AIL, and a blank.
Interesting. What Popery would have been a much better play than Papery.
And then Pie Rope. It's right up there as well.
Yeah.
So if you were an Evans struck with the dreaded woo, what do you do here? For Shelly Ubika, I don't think she's watching right now, but shout out if she's there and lurking. She talks about the dreaded woo all the time.
This is the kind of rack I would spend 8 minutes on, just being unable to find any merit in any move. He has no, I mean, Quackle doesn't see anything useful. His highest scoring option is Wadi.
Yeah, with LU blank, that's the leftover letters.
Like B3, yeah.
Wolfram, yes, I believe woo works in the Officiel Dictionnaire de Scrabble, but I have never seen rue in French, in any French that I've ever learned. But yes, I do believe that works in ODS.
Ooh, Da.
Da going for the most points.
Oh, yeah, right. That was the highest scoring play, 24.
So LIU blank. Meanwhile, Austin is playing very quickly another bingo. Aerotone. That's the second time it's come up today.
Oh my gosh.
Learn your high vowel bingos, kids.
Wow.
These are important.
Oh, and Evans is not getting any closer to a good draw. Oh, he's not even able to capitalize on the O next to the double lead word score.
Hilly ZU blank.
Oh. Oof. I mean, you can score a bunch for a whiz. I guess that's a consolation.
interesting option to consider. I'm not sure I would pull the trigger on it until I really thought about it, but Hilly on the left side of arrow tone scores well without using the Z. Wiz scoring more, of course, and neither leave being ideal, but in the static sim on Quackle, it's got Wiz and Fizz near the top, and then Alzi and Hui are next after that. So Evans has gone for Wiz, which is right at the top of the static sim list. And as is pointed out, you would have blocked arrow tone. Yes, it would have.
I mean, you wouldn't have given him papery for 40 tone.
Papery wouldn't have happened, or arrow tone. Yep.
Oh, they both have blanks.
A blank apiece.
Is his rat B-O-O-O-T-T blank?
It looks like he's got out boot lined up with the blank as a U.
Ooh, that rec makes 1-8. That is not playable.
There you go, some trivia for the anagrammers out there.
Yeah, I hope this game doesn't end up. I mean, I hope this game doesn't stay as lopsided as the previous ones. Yeah, I mean, when you're Evans, he made 3 straight plays that hugely sacrificed his leave. And so he's had bad racks every turn, but the worst letters on his racks have been letters that he left over the last turn. And he hasn't really even been scoring. So.
Oh, you put in popery as opposed to papery.
Oh, I did. It's a blunder.
Yeah, thank you for the feedback in the chat. We'll just fix that to papery. And daw. Okay. Now we're all caught up to speed.
Yeah, you could play Bozo, 2, boot.
I am all about Bozo the Clown.
Yeah.
And so is Austin, opting for Bozo.
Yeah, I like Bozo. I mean, I feel like a lot of players in this situation would be like, oh, I'm up 110, I better play defense. But I don't know. I think my taste is different from most players, but I would usually just prefer to play for taking as big a lead as possible.
Points
just,
are good.
Yeah, just try to play for the maximum equity. Because, like, no matter how much you try to close this board, there's still going to be ways to score tons of points and bingo a bunch of times in a row. And if you just try to restrict as much as possible, you can find yourself just not scoring enough.
That's one of the things I like. I still play both books, with my preference being Collins. And one of the things I like is that it's more difficult to play complete defense on a Collins board. It's not impossible, as people like Conrad demonstrate, but it is certainly more difficult. So there are more ways to justify playing for points, such as Bozo, because you're not really going to block the board as often completely. So.
Yeah.
So Evans has played Urnfield.
Looks like he missed unfiled alongside paper 3. So Evans' turn with, sorry, Austin's turn with a 60-point lead.
And a blank in his hand.
And a Q.
He's
This is... See, there's a few places you could play the Q. You can play under the B of Bozo, leaving a big spot if Evans comes back with his own QI play on the triple word score. You could play the Q onto the I of Urnfield for less points, but a more predictable position.
Unfiled wouldn't give quitters. Yeah, I see that you've just seen that, Carson. But with the A and arrow tone where it is, quitters wouldn't have happened. But certainly it would have given an easy Q play in the top left if it had been played.
It's a fortuitous, lucky mistake.
Yeah. So in this case, it's actually a good thing he didn't play unfiled, given what would have come back.
So, from Austin's perspective, there's 5 I's unseen, which is maybe one reason to not play the I on the bottom of the QI on the bottom of the board. I guess he might be thinking of playing QIS, but I don't. That doesn't seem much better. Nothing.
Rajveer's, you've asked if unfoiled is better in this case. I'm assuming you're meaning unfoiled through the E and swinged, and no, Urnfield actually hits the double word score in this case for more points, so I would opt for Urnfield over unfoiled. So just a simple Q play, dropping the Q onto the I in Urnfield, and yes, certainly that is better than something like quit or quirt in the top left. That would have been possible after unfiled. Evans with a no spot for something like Votary to unload from his rack.
I guess his major unloading play is...
I was thinking Flavor, just now.
Yeah.
And yeah, there we go, Flavory is going down.
That's tricky because it kind of destroys the best bingo lines.
It does certainly mess a few things up.
But there's ways to open it back up.
So there's still the S hook onto Urnfield. You can still play alongside Flavory, underneath the O and Bozo. So there's still spots, but yes, it certainly takes out some of the easiest spots to play a 7.
And then you can, eventually somebody will play from the R to the triple word. That could be open things up too.
Including Austin still sitting with his...
If he wanted to really be aggressive, he could have played Foy under Bozo. That would set up a lot of things. Ooh. You gotta think there weren't very many letters he could draw there to not have any bingo. But it seems that he has drawn one of them. But he has a huge play.
Interestingly, it does require some nice board vision here for sure, because I know when I'm looking at the board, I'm not thinking about putting a K on the end of DAW, unless I'm really looking hard.
Yeah.
But in this case, it would be Doc and Koto, hooking DAW with the K and working your way down. That's for it looks like it's 40 exactly, says Quackle. Yeah, that's the candidate play for sure, if you spot that.
Yeah, Evans is in such good shape.
This is one of those things where you see the difference between people who are raw anagrammers and those who have, you know, beautiful board vision and the ability to combine both. Because yeah, it is one thing to anagram and find the words and to know them, but to actually spot the actual place to put them down on the board, that's something else. But both players are very good that way, so I would expect Kodo is probably being played.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting for the next move, Jason, where's your latest roller adventures been around the world?
Oh, I skated from the Penang airport to the tournament here.
Ooh.
It was underwhelming.
Not much to see?
I don't know. Yeah, like... Yeah, there wasn't much. Like, it was either kind of foresty or kind of residential or kind of... but people are happy. Lots of people on motorbikes wave at you if you're rollerblades.
Oh.
That's nice. That's a nice touch.
That's interesting, because I know, like, with bike culture, people will give each other the certain kind of wave when they see another biker, but to you on roller skates as well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Most recently I was in Indonesia. I did like about 1,000 kilometers of roller skating around there and camping.
Wow. So it looks like Austin has gone for Tauk or Tuk. I'm not sure I pronounced that, but that's going on the top there.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't spot it.
Yeah, probably didn't spot it. But realistically, he's quite likely to win the game in any case.
Mm-hmm. Zev says, too bad Stotinka doesn't fit. I have actually seen Stotinka in real life, or Stotinki, I guess is the way to say it. I went to Bulgaria last year in the fall to visit for a week. I stayed in Sofia and then went a little further south into Plovdiv for a day trip there as well. And yeah, all the coins are of course Stotinki, but it's written differently because in Bulgaria they use Cyrillic. So it's this spelling that we have in Scrabble is basically directly transliterated into Roman characters. You see, so it's sort of like you have the C instead of the S, just because that always produces the soft sound.
Yeah.
And then the rest is fairly straightforward after that with the T's and O's and such. But it just looked odd thinking about it from Scrabble that, you know, I think about an S automatically, but on the coins you have the C instead. So yes, it's nice to see Scrabble worlds in the wild. We've seen quite a few of them here in Penang as well.
Yeah.
One I didn't expect to see, because I didn't know what it meant. I just know it as a Scrabble word, is Majlis, M-A-J-L-I-S. That was on a sign in the streets in Penang that I saw yesterday. And it actually, for me, it provides a nice context that I can start to memorize some of these words better. You know, it's you know, nice to be able to say more than just it's a noun or it's an adjective, and be able to actually explain. Oh yeah, this is something I saw in this country or that country. So yeah, Majlis, I still don't know what it means, but I know that I saw it on a sign, so it's likely something edible, but maybe not.
No, it's a
No.
Muslim place of worship. Or what exactly?
That's masjid.
That's a masjid.
Oh, is it a school?
A majlis is something like a school, I think.
Okay.
Institution or something.
Okay.
There you go. We have a resident Malaysian in the room.
Singapore.
I just wanted to see you get mad.
Sorry. Parliament.
Parliament?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
Parliament.
I don't remember walking by Parliament building. Okay, cool. I learned something new.
Maybe you did.
There you go. Now I have full context just by slightly embarrassing myself and poking the fire by calling you a Malaysian. All right, so Austin is going to play his bonus here. The question is that an S? Is that an N? What is he doing?
I guess we really don't know. Let's say it's an S.
Sure. Let's be nice and clean on the chat today and assume it's an S. Evan's not thinking long about this rack. He's playing Iliac, leaving AIL.
Did Evans drop a tile?
I'm guessing he dropped a tile.
Whoa.
Yeah. Enumble. Yeah. And Evans is vowel heavy. Not looking too good on that side of the board.
You think about how much this game could have been different if he hadn't played Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely changed the game.
If he played YU, Austin wouldn't have scored 48
points.
and then Evans probably would have bingoed the next turn.
Yeah, if he's willing to talk about the game afterwards, we can certainly ask him some of the thought process behind Yeah.
Yeah.
Evans is staring off into the distance like, la 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 la.
Mm-hmm.
Just making sure the camera gets his face.
The Jeopardy theme, perhaps, in the final round could be playing while he's waiting. Do 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 do.
To go back to one of our previous topics, I mean, if you're on a jet with just a single layer of seats, there's like area above.
Yeah. So it's on the biggest planes. So the ones that we call a wide body aircraft. So when there's two aisles in the plane, we call it wide body, and when there's just one in the middle, it's a narrow body. So the narrow body planes don't have an overhead compartment for crew rest.
Yeah.
But the ones with two aisles, like a 777, for example, there's an area in the back that we can access and go up a steep staircase, and it's up there that you go further in towards the middle of the cabin by, crawling in this case in the 787, but on this 777 you kind of just hunch over and walk slowly. And yeah, there's bunk beds that are up there.
Is there anything else up there?
Nope, it is literally just a crew rest area for us, somewhere to hang our coats.
Is it along the entire length of the plane?
In the middle.
Just in the middle?
Yeah.
Oh, because the rest of the plane is not that big?
Well, it's because when you think about the shape of a plane, it's sort of like a cylinder, right? You know, that slopes out and further out. So to keep balance, it's in the middle, kind of in the highest part. On a 777, there's a lot more of that space, so you can actually have the beds have so much space, but on the 787, there's less, so it's just a little more compact.
But is it the whole length of from the
Not the whole
front to
length.
the back?
It's going to be about, what's an example? Maybe about a quarter, not even a quarter of the whole plane that it goes forward. It is kind of fun, Jen. I feel like a little kid, playing in a little fort when I'm curling up in the top of a 787. And I get to make a fort even with different blankets and pillows and, disappear from the world for a little while. I actually do sleep on the planes up there, so I feel good. I'm crazy maybe, but the super long flights, those are the ones I like more, because going to Sydney, for example, Sydney is a 14-something hour flight from Vancouver, which is a long time. But depending on how quickly we finish our first service and our second service, we can have up to 5.5 hours for our break. And for me, that's almost a full night of sleep. So I like those. Whereas if I fly from Vancouver to London, for example, then the break is maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours. So it's really just a quick nap. So I actually prefer the long flights because it's almost a full night of sleep, and I always take the second break, so the one that's just before the service, before landing. So going to Sydney, we get there at like 8 in the morning. So I'll wake up at something like 5:30 or 6 a.m. Sydney time. to do that last service. And it's really like just waking up slightly early for a day in Australia, and then I'm refreshed and good to go till the nighttime.
Wow.
London's tougher because from Vancouver, based on the time of day, we get there late morning, and that's after the 1.5 hour break somewhere. So it's really like you didn't sleep the night at all. So much harder to adjust. But yeah, I like getting to nap. Getting paid to sleep is like a dream.
Cool. Whoa. Ni hao, Anjali. It's great to have non-Scrabble people watching our delightful game. But sadly, Evans couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, Evans is not drawing super well here.
不会赢.
Look at that, I haven't heard you speak Mandarin before. Now I have.
It's hard.
I know. I just say 我不会说普通话.
Oh.
I just say 我会说英文, and that's about the best I can do.
你的中文很好.
不好, if it's me, 不好.
Extent. Great play.
Yes, there is still Scrabble happening.
Yeah. Oh.
Evans has got dialers.
Whoa, he can play a bingo.
I don't know, is it Cideral or Sideral or... Well, it's there's no E after.
But it's probably an alternate spelling of that. Yeah, he's going to play it. Yeah.
However you say it, there is a spot. And it goes down. She says to Jason that she remembers you playing Chinese Scrabble in class.
Oh yeah. I made one of my final projects be Chinese Scrabble.
How did you do that? There's so many characters.
I went on a other language Scrabble kick in college. I made a Korean Scrabble set.
Korean, I remember. Yeah.
And a Chinese Scrabble set. I made a Tuvan Scrabble set.
Really?
And I did this by asking Bob, who was the person, whoever makes Pro Tiles.
Bob Jackman or Schoenman or...
Oh yeah, Bob. One of them. If he just had like extra tiles that he could send me, and he told me that he had so he sent me like bags and bags of like defect tiles.
Oh, nice.
Where he just like butchered their printing, but the tiles themselves are fine. And then I just printed out and cut up like whatever I wanted to put on the tiles and then taped them on.
Mm.
That was really fun.
That's what IT is
Sideral.
Nice. That's excellent, Jason. Or I should say Hun Hao, if I want to keep the theme. Jans, yeah. Sorry to any of the Mandarin speakers out there who are watching. I am certainly not fluent and probably butchering the pronunciation. Yeah, maybe perhaps you can message Jennifer and ask for some of those defect tiles as well.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about being in a place like Malaysia that's so multicultural is like people who speak Mandarin come from all sorts of different places, so there's no like one correct way to speak it.
Mm-hmm.
So people are probably more lenient in understanding you.
And I'm always thrown off when I'm in this part of the world as well. You know, see someone Chinese who is fluent in Bahasa when they're here. I just don't usually think about it that way.
Whoa!
But
Hello. Welcome.
you're here to provide some insight for us from the event.
Just want to see how you're doing.
All right. Well, please join us, good sir, and talk about your experience as well.
I'm in Team New Zealand that will be doing okay if only Nigel was
Winning?
was pulling his weight.
Yes.
Bringing us down.
So look at that. We're getting some trash talk.
Throwing shade on Nigel.
I think that's fair though. Nigel's had a tough
dump
go.
him from the team.
You think? You think? Then he can be his own team after that. Make up for some lost time. So how are you sitting at the wins so far?
I'm not doing so well, only on 2.
All right.
Some close ones.
Well, it's a tough field. And anyone super noteworthy you've played? There's all noteworthy players here, but anyone especially noteworthy you've played?
Not particularly. All
Excellent. And next, who are you up against?
I'm not sure.
No?
Take one game at a time.
One game at a time.
One game
I
at a
think
time.
that's the right attitude, certainly. All right.
Never look ahead.
I actually don't either. I like to look one round at a time on the sheet when they put it in the wall and focus on that. I like it. It's a good way to look at it. Sometimes people tell me, though, like if I'm on lunch, they're like, oh, you're playing this person after lunch. It's like, no, I want to have my lunch in peace.
I particularly don't like to know who I'm playing first in the tournament.
Even that?
No,
Yeah.
not even that. No.
Yeah.
It's not there. No.
Agreed.
All
In New
right.
Zealand, we play mostly round robin, so most people do know, and they worked it out. They committed it to memory right at the start who they're playing and when, but I just don't care. I know I've got to play one. It's in round robin, you have to play one anyway. So
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if we have many pure round robin events in North America anymore. They're usually Chu pairings, and naturally, John Chu being the one who made Tish, it's going to be that as the default for our tournaments most of the time. But that'd be nice to have a pure round robin.
Yes.
yes. Have you not been playing for a while?
No. I will maybe never play again.
Why?
Opportunity cost. It takes a lot of time to study at a high level, and then that time can be eventually used for other things.
But you came here to commentate.
Yes, because what could be better than that?
He thinks playing.
Nigel ratted me out because he thought that nothing could be more boring than commentating, but I disagreed.
But it's great if you can come here and talk about Nigel not winning.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Zeb. I should clarify who I'm talking to. Yeah, because they were just asking who you are.
Okay, Howard Warner.
Yeah, so we have Howard Warner from Team New Zealand, who is here in studio with us. I should have said that earlier. My apologies.
Do you have a funny story from Nigel? From the New Zealand days?
Lots of them.
Like what?
Well, you all know of Nigel's first tournament when he at the end of a day's a hard week's work, he jumped on his bicycle and he rode from Christchurch to Dunedin, which is over some massive mountains, about 14 hours. Jumped off his bike, played 7 games. Played another 7 games the next day, and then jumped on his bike, rode back to Dunedin, over giant mountains, 14 hours, got on his bike, ready to start work on Monday.
Wow.
That's the great Nigel story. Yeah.
So
And it was in his very first tournament.
this
And
was
he
in
won
Dunedin, this tournament?
Dunedin, yes, and I think he won most, if not all, of the games. So.
Wow.
And then we all heard about that, and a few people were saying, "This is for real." Yeah.
Wow. So for anyone who didn't hear that, I'm not sure how well it picks up, but Howard was just telling us about Nigel's first tournament in New Zealand. So he rode his bike from Christchurch all the way to Dunedin, which is, I actually remember doing most of that drive when I went to New Zealand in the springtime. It is, even in a car, a very long distance to go. And on a bike, it's a good chunk of the South Island of New Zealand.
Very hilly.
Yeah. There's lots of hills, mountains to go through, and Nigel biked all the way from Christchurch to Dunedin to play over the
And he
weekend.
didn't stop once.
He did not stop once. He biked the whole distance without stopping, and then won most of his games on the tournament. And then he went right back on his bike to bike back to Christchurch from Dunedin and worked the next day, like nothing had ever happened. Just another day for Nigel Richards.
Yes.
Why did he start playing Scrabble?
That's his mom, I think, that got him into that.
Nothing fancy. He went home to his mum's place for dinner one day, and she had a friend staying who played Scrabble, and they broke out the Scrabble at the end of the after dinner, and he liked it. And so from that point he decided, instead of just having one hobby, cycling, he would have 2. And then he committed all the, he created his own word list, which took I think something like 3 months, and in 3 months, 2 months, and in that time by creating that word list, he memorised them all. But this is an interesting point: is that he with his word list, he doesn't remember words; he remembers grid coordinates. So he wrote all his words in very, very tiny print, in columns and rows, and he put grid coordinates, and he would just, when he sees the letters on his rack, takes them to a grid coordinate, and then the words come.
Interesting.
It's incredible.
That's nice. That's a little more insight into the way Nigel's brain works. That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank
You
you.
were involved in Scissor?
Quackle.
Quackle.
Yeah, Nigel has never used Quackle, and he never wants to because he thinks it's useless.
Probably because he can out-quackle quackle.
Yes.
So thank you, Howard, for your insight. Much
Thank you.
appreciated. Good luck in the
good
rest.
luck.
And meanwhile, back to the board here. Evans is taking a picture of the final board as they went through the formalities of the last few moves. So that will be a victory for Austin Shin in this round. And then next on the board, we have...
Why did he play Orgiac? Did he not see Grim?
I'm not sure. Next is Alan Oyende and Jakrit will be broadcast the next round. Zev, I guess it didn't pick up on the microphone. We weren't sure about that. But basically, he was sharing a little bit about how Nigel created his own word lists when he started in Scrabble. And he said that he creates this sort of grid, if you will, where he wrote them all out by hand in different columns. And then essentially when he looks at a rack of letters, he just migrates his mind to that grid where he's got the words all lined up from where he wrote them down. So essentially he can see it in that grid, and I would assume by extension, if he does not see it, he knows it's a phony and challenges it off.
It's
So
Evans.
we have Evans Clinchy coming in studio. He's got a smirk and a laugh on his face, and I know what that's about, but we'll ask him anyway. So, Evans.
No, I was going to ask you a question. Like,
Okay.
Was there anything I should have done, or did I just, I don't know.
We had a few
Quackle
ideas.
absolutely hated Yet.
Okay, I thought it might. What am I supposed to do there? I don't know.
You.
These were the best plays. You or both simmed.
Yeah, I didn't.
well.
I didn't like playing when I did it because I'm like, he's got 7 random tiles and he might have like high scoring tiles, and I'm like, here, have a triple to score 40 every time. Like that's not smart. But I also wanted to like keep the board open for my blank, and so I don't know.
Yeah, you and both simmed quite well.
I thought about but I didn't want to have IY on my leave. That seemed gross. I don't know.
Is that better than UI?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And then, yeah, it was really after that, you know. He's
I think
kept
YU is
scoring.
probably the safest play if you don't want to pull
Yeah.
a trigger on any of those.
That seems to like block a lot of stuff that I didn't want to block, but I don't know.
We didn't sim this, but yeah, I don't know.
Can we see the commentators and Evans instead of the abandoned board? Oh, I think you got some vested interest in that one, Jen. Kumar has stepped out of the room, so once he comes back, we'll see if he can switch it on. But in the meantime, yes, Jennifer's watching.
I know.
In the Battle of the Fiancés, this time it has been decided. It
Oh
is
yeah, that's right.
Austin Shin with the victory this time.
When he played Earnfield, he could have played Unfiled, but then if he played Unfiled, he would have played Quoit for 50. So.
Yeah, that seemed to just give him back stuff. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. I don't know.
You
How much was
didn't-
unfiled? I didn't actually count it.
It was like 9 more.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's a lot more. I didn't realize it was that much more.
But that's
I probably would have
fine.
done it.
You just got super unlucky, plus you paid for your bad leave after a year.
Yeah.
Other
Okay.
than that, you
That's-
did
I
great.
mean, that's
You
fine.
did
I
great.
made mistakes. I know. It's fine.
It's all good.
You made one mistake that snowballed for 4 turns.
Yeah,
At the end of
yeah.
that snowball, you're down by 200.
It was frustrating to like not bingo until the 4th turn with that blank, but
Yeah.
The trouble was Austin had a blank, you know, right around the same time as you, so he held it for a couple of turns as well.
yeah. Well, he also opened with an 82-point bingo. He didn't need a blank, which
Pete-
I challenged. Why is swing?
It's swinged!
Oh, swinging. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay.
Did you know this is a word?
Oh, that looks vaguely familiar. I don't know.
Pete says, I'm enjoying looking at the water bottle and crumpled up tile bag. Yes, this round of play is sponsored by Clean Canteen, or whatever the brand of water bottle that is. Austin won't forget it for long. He's probably skipped off the washroom, but he's
there
got to
he
get
is.
his water in. Yep, step back into the shot.
Who do you guys have next on this board?
We have Alan Oyende and then Jakrit.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, such
I mean,
a
they're both
good
great. I
matchup.
didn't mean to slight anybody.
Tell us about Alan. What makes him great?
He's just really, I don't know, he's like fun and entertaining to play with. He like makes funny faces and he like shakes the bag all funny, and he's just like a jolly fun guy.
Yes.
I like shared a bus from the airport yesterday with him, and we talked a lot. He's really nice.
Oh yeah, that was after you didn't have a working card to get cash for the cab.
Yeah. Luckily the bus cost about 80 cents, and so I was able to borrow some money.
And then you also sent a fun little selfie to Michael. Michael Tang was like, "Evan, send me a selfie."
So I can show the Uber driver what you look like. Yeah.
So
the Uber driver failed to find me.
He couldn't find you, and,
Yeah,
and I was like, how does he
at
not
the-
find a tall white guy that looks completely lost?
Yeah. There were two of us. David Elder was there.
That's fair. He is also tall. The one that
I'm
doesn't
completely lost.
the one that doesn't have the shaggy hair. Randy says, "Need more ponies." Well,
No, there's exactly the right number of ponies this tournament, and that's 0. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say
Hey,
that.
tell us one Alan story.
A story? Yeah, you always want stories. I don't know what story I have. I don't know.
well, that was a story. You rode from the airport together. That's
No,
fair.
an Alan story.
I don't know if I have any stories about him. He's just a nice guy. I like him. I don't know.
Okay.
So we know who you are rooting for the next round. You are Team Alan Oyende. Excellent.
Yeah, well, I'm team anybody that wants to beat the ties. Please do, because
Oh.
we need them to lose.
Oh, are they in the? Do they have a big
We,
lead?
we just lost because Will and Jesse also lost their games, so we lost this match.
Oh, to Thailand.
So we're gonna be 4-2, and Thailand is
They're crushing.
So they'll be at 5.
no. We lost to the world. I don't know how Thailand did.
Okay.
I don't know how the world is doing actually. Are they doing well? They got,
You
they
know
got
what?
3. They got 3.
Hang on, go down. Did Sohaib, did he actually win his match against where is he? Well, he's playing Nigel next, but didn't he play Ganesh in the last round? Did he win?
I guess we don't know.
That's Panupon.
Oh.
So that's different. Where is it? Oh, he did.
He did.
Wow. Sohaib actually beat Ganesh. Wow, so he's already beaten Adam and Ganesh on day 1. That's great.
Who is?
Sohaib. Our youngest player, he's on a tear.
He's playing Panupon now. I saw him designated blank, so he probably bingoed at least once.
Doing reasonably well.
Jason stepped out, and I'm gonna steal his chair.
Excellent.
Oh.
It was observed that you had your Team USA shades.
Yeah, of course. Got to represent my peoples.
Mm-hmm. There was a solid group of Americans watching.
So I just beat another world champion.
Oh.
436 and 430.
He
Oh
beat
my
Panupon.
God.
Panupon.
Wow, okay, so we have official word for Sohaib. We were just talking about him a minute ago.
436 to 430.
So Sohaib just won by 6 points against Panupon. So he's now beaten 3 very high caliber players today. It's very impressive. Nigel, Ganesh, and Panupon.
And who's the other one? Logan.
Oh wait, Adam Logan. Yeah, sorry. He hasn't played Nigel yet. He's playing him next.
So,
Yeah. So Adam Logan. Yeah. Panupon. Yeah, very impressive. Not showing any nerves. Like I would be playing people in this
Yeah.
field. it's
Well, everybody has their one hell day where you play all the number 1 seeds.
and that's him
And
today.
He's got it on the first day. That's brutal.
and doing very well. That's 3 wins against very, very good people. I mean, everyone here, but especially them.
But yeah, the number 1 seed day is pretty brutal. You get Nigel, Adam, David Eldar. Was it Alan, Panupon, Saidu?
If he were old enough, I would buy the man a drink for that performance. But
Yeah,
he is not.
yeah. Yeah, for the U.S., we got Will with the Hell Day today, and he's doing quite well. I think he's 4-2, no, maybe 3-3. He's doing okay. It's a pretty brutal field for anybody, even a champ like Will.
That is murderer's row for sure.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like 2-4, and I'm playing the 3 seeds, so it's gonna
Oh.
be real tough for me.
So who do you have next, Evans?
We got the Nigerians next, so I'm playing Moses Peter.
Okay.
I think Will's got Saidu, and other people have other people they're playing. I don't know.
Excellent.
Yeah. Then we got Africa after that, and Singapore to round out the day. So.
Edgar Odomkara. I don't think I know who he is.
He's Ugandan. He was also on my bus from the airport yesterday, so I
Okay.
got to meet him.
Nice. Yeah, I'm used to knowing most of the field in this kind of event, but there's a few names I don't recognize at all, which is nice.
Yeah, there's a few players that I don't know on the Asia team and the mostly the Asia team. I think I know most of the rest of the guys. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty special chance to, if there's anybody in the world that's an elite player you've never played before, this is your chance to play them. It's a great tournament for that reason.
It's a good time.
There's a lot of people on this list that I'm looking forward to playing for the first time, including Ed Oculus, who missed his flight to play me, so I was kind of sad about that, but we'll try and make that one up later.
Did you notice that the word authority is Collins 2013?
I did, which I did not know existed, but maybe
either.
there's
William.
some words I don't know about.
Come on in.
You want to post-mortem our destruction at the hands of the world team? That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, lost to Adam by 4. Are we live here?
We are live on the air.
Okay, we're still on, says Randy. I wanted to make sure. So Will Anderson is in the room as well. Just
I'm
lost
here.
Lost by
you can have a
4,
seat if
you
you
said?
want.
No, that's fine. I'll displace you. Yeah, I just had a close loss to Adam Logan, who is a very good player. I lost by.
You don't
not
say.
audible.
Maybe not as audible as you could be having
okay.
a seat. So
I can
you
come-
can
oh,
take the
Evans.
seat.
Yeah, no. I'm
Okay.
done talking.
Are you? Okay, thank you, Evans.
All right.
Go on ahead, William.
Yeah, I was. I made what I thought at the time was a pretty big mistake. I had options of bingos toward the end of the game. I could have played Amadine or Diamine, and he hit me with Za after Diamine for a very large score. So I thought, well, I definitely should have played Amadine, and I'd probably win. But then he revealed that he would have had Adzuki burning the blank for like 100 points.
Oh.
So it actually would have been worse had I made the correct play. So that's a load off. I wouldn't want to play well or anything like that.
Fair.
So, yeah, it was a close one. I'm pretty sure in the pre-end game I made a decent play, and he just made a good end game play as he's wont to do. So I'm sitting at 3-3 right now, and as a team, I believe we just lost. So we're at 4-3. No, it can't be 3-3.
3, I think.
I thought we
I
had
didn't check.
4, so maybe 4-2. I think we've lost
Not
2
bad.
rounds. I'm not sure about that. So it's going well for the team. So how have the games been so far?
They've been
Obviously-
great. We're having
Yeah.
a good time watching.
Did everybody enjoy me knock the living daylights out of Nigel Richards last round? I sure enjoyed it.
we
yeah.
heard about the game.
Yeah. Oh, was that not? We were on.
Oh
the
right,
top
yeah, you were.
board,
Yeah,
so
that's right. Sorry, I am already thinking of the wrong round. That was very enjoyable.
just watching me lay bingos down, it's just great. We can only dream of having that every round. And specifically, I mean me. I'm not saying everyone else can dream of that. I'm saying you should all dream of me doing that. So we got to all live our dream out together, and it was really magical, I think.
I would have to agree. It was quite something to watch Nigel have so low scoring opportunities
He just
throughout
had
the whole
garbage.
game.
Obviously, he
Yeah.
had junk, and I drew 2 blank bingos to start the game. I had my choice. The hardest strategic decision for me was probably whether I should play my E at the end of Jealous. I had Jalouse for a couple of more points, but obviously there were a couple S's and D's unseen, and that would have been dumb if I let him bingo to the triple against me. Not that it mattered, really. So that was my toughest decision when I was already up by like 200. So that was just kind of a stinker for Nigel. So
It's nice to get that out of the way, with the
yes.
possibly the toughest matchup. and
Yeah,
that's already
I
done.
don't have to see him. Yeah, so I'm sure you've been talking at length about the way that, or maybe not, the way that the schedules work for every
Yep.
player is that everybody takes their turn at a certain number of seed on every other team, and the 5 seeds, which I am one of, are playing all of the 1 seeds. So if I can just keep my head above water, I'll consider that a huge success today for me.
Excellent. And before you continue, good night, Jennifer. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it.
Hi, Jen.
Looking forward to seeing you back shortly. Yeah, you had Murderer's Row today, and you're doing very well.
I'm doing okay. I mean, to lose to Ganesh, the first game of the day, I was on the stream against Ganesh. I lost by 7. I just lost by 4 to Adam. I've won 3 other games against excellent players, so I consider that a huge success. And if I could just get maybe 1 or dare I ask for 2 more wins, I would consider this to be a tremendous opening day, better than I could have expected. So
Yeah, I think being able to post a positive record for that kind of matchups is very, very impressive.
Absolutely.
So, who do you have next for your next game?
my next opponent is Irinde Saidu, who is obviously another amazing player on Team Nigeria, which is doing very well right now. They were doing quite well, I think. Oh, I see your live updating standings.
Yeah.
I guess there's still some games to come, but it looks like
there's a
could
few
go either
highlighted.
way against Singapore.
So the ones that are highlighted in certain colors, they're done to indicate who won the game.
I
So
see.
anything that's just got the white is not in yet.
Right. Oh, I
However,
wonder if I didn't fill out my score slip against that. Oh, I did fill it out.
It might just not be in the system
Yeah,
yet.
Adam filled it out.
Because
Okay.
there's at least one that I know the result of. Sohaib actually beat Panupon, so he's
Wow.
beaten 3 extremely good players today. He beat Panupon.
That's great.
He beat Adam to start the day.
We all know he's going to
Yeah.
be a beast very soon if he's not already, which he is already. So
He's a great player.
Great job to him.
Yeah, he beat Ganesh as well. So those are his 3
Oh
really
my
big wins
God,
today.
that's
He's had the same as you, the number 1 seeds today, and
Yes.
is holding his own.
that's really good job to him because it is no mean feat. These are very good players.
However, when it's your turn to play him, everyone has to live out the dream through you, right? To have you draw all the
Yeah, I
bingos
mean,
and-
we're all. I'm basically, I'm the people's favorite here. I know that I have the biggest fan base of any player here. At least I believe myself to. So, we're all rooting for me, and I'm going to try my best to do everyone proud.
And then you have to remember, though, you have to have someone who creates an account on Twitch just for you, because we do have Carmel Dodd Superfan.
Yeah,
but we need a Will Anderson.
We
handle.
got to get at least 1 or 2 or 3 super fans of mine in the chat as soon as possible. Just so you know, you can change your name on Twitch up to once a month. So you want to try out being a super fan of me for a month, you can go back to your old boring life afterwards. So it's that's your call. Lots of great names out there. Anderson Fan, Anderson Freak, Anderson Freak 84, my birth year. Feel free to take that. That one is probably untaken if I had to guess.
Unless there's like
Just be creative with it.
someone who likes Mr. Anderson from The Matrix. Maybe they'll take it in that case. So perhaps they need the full name, like William R. Anderson,
Yes.
Freak. Something like that.
Yeah. Just so everybody knows, I'm obviously kidding. There are many better players than I am here. Thank you if you actually are a fan of mine, but I myself am a fan of Nigel Richards and Ganesh Sirvatham and everybody else that I've been playing. So just kidding around. Don't take me too seriously. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, Will's got a really dry sense of humor. One of my favorite things about him. Fits very well with Canadian humor for sure. So
Yes.
always a pleasure to talk.
All right.
There's
Well,
a
thanks for
chance.
having me. I guess I better go find
right.
my next opponent.
I won't tell
and,
Michael, I promise.
Okay. Yes. All right. Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Will Anderson.
Yeah. Thanks, Jason.
All right.